Thank you, Madame Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I love to travel. When I was a young child, I would always get excited when my family and I would travel somewhere. Didn't matter where. Over the years, my travels have mostly fallen into two categories. One, those that have inspired me, been fabulously fun, and validated my understanding of history. And two, those that I call, been there, done that, not sure I want to experience that again. Today, I will share one adventure that falls in the latter category. A few years ago, while on safari in East Africa, I stopped by my parents' home in the Ugandan countryside. They had a farm with cows, pigs, chickens, goats, and they grew corn, known as maize in Uganda, and green bananas, known locally as matoke. I am a germaphobe. Therefore, I am not a fan of farming or farm life, and I'm usually keen to leave at the first opportunity. Unfortunately for me, on this occasion, my dad wanted to show me the new plot of land he had for his cows. The farm was about a 5-minute walk from my parents' house, down a hill, near the streams that ran through the village. We walked to the farm, passing by neighbors who waved, and finally made our way to the pasture. There were several cows, and as they do, the cows mooed, they wagged their tails, they ate grass. Really, nothing to see here. Fellow Toastmasters, I thought to myself, I'm on safari. Looking at cows was not what I envisioned. After 20 minutes of looking at said cows, I was ready to leave. However, my dad and the farm workers were tinkering with the wire fence and deep in conversation about the mechanics of artificial insemination. Boring. I decided to make my way back to the house. On the way, I bumped into my mom, who was pruning banana trees and collecting bunches of bananas to take to the house and to share with the neighbors. She asked me to help her, and I obliged, putting on gloves because, yuck, who needs all that banana tree goo on their hands? After what felt like an hour of working at the banana trees, Mom was finally ready to head home. The farm workers were tasked with taking the bananas to the house. Much to my relief, the thought of carrying bunches of bananas was definitely not my idea of a workout, strength or otherwise. As Mom and I made our way to the house, we encountered a cow. Actually, it was a bull. I'm no expert in the demeanor of cows. However, he seemed agitated. Mom wasn't bothered at all by this and casually walked past him. I followed her, attempting to do the same. I must have been really dreadful at it because something about me either caught his attention or irritated him, or both, because he started following us menacingly. I quickened my pace and signaled to my mom to do the same. She did, and so did the bull. Without thinking, I started running, and so did the bull. Unfortunately for Mom, she was supposed to start running too. I screamed as I ran, arms flailing. I looked back and saw the bull was gaining on us. I slowed down, grabbed my mom's arm, and pulled her along with me. Then we heard yelling and looked back. We saw one of the farm workers had intercepted the bull and brought him to a halt. Mom stopped running, bent over, catching her breath. I wasn't about to take any chances and continued running all the way back up to the house. About 30 minutes later, Mom and Dad returned. Once it was clear that no one was hurt and all was well, my dad laughed so hard he had tears running down his face. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, was my ego bruised? No, I was just pleased I got away in one piece. Did my opinion of farming or farm life change? Absolutely not. I became even more determined to avoid farms and farm animals at all costs. Something I was successful at doing until I had a child. Regardless of that experience, travel has enriched my life. enabling me to immerse myself in the cultures of the world. It has provided me with interesting and funny stories to share at cocktail parties or Toastmasters meetings. More than anything, travel has broadened my curiosity of the world. Next stop for me in my passport series, a desert safari in Dubai. Back to you, Madame.